Welcome to this new tutorial. In this video, we're going to see how to create estimates in QuickBooks Online. What is an estimate? An estimate is a formal document that outlines the expected cost and the timeline for a project or job. The estimate is usually provided to the customer or clients before the work begins, and it serves as a contractual agreement between the parties involved. When it comes to an estimate, you equally need to understand that an estimate is a non-posting document. You're just drafting whatsoever you are about to do with a particular client just to show him. So if he accepts it, or if everything is okay with the estimate, it can then be converted into an invoice, or either completely or progressively. This video has as purpose to show us how to create an estimate. For us to create an estimate, we need first to log in our company file. So here I am. I'm in a test company. For you to create an estimate, you need to come to the new icon here, and here you're going to have the possibility to click on estimate. So either you come and click on estimate here, or you can get to sales and you will see the estimate. So this very same place is where you can track, it's a center where you can track all the opened estimates. So at this very same place, you can equally create an estimate. Let's just pass through plus new icon up, and we take estimate. In making an estimate, you obviously need to select the customer to whom you're making the estimate, and in the process input all the services or products you have to insert in the estimate. So we'll start by selecting a customer. So let's say we're selecting a customer for a particular donation, like I'm going to create it for a particular job. Or let me just take this customer. We're going to see another example with this one. Let's take this customer for example. Or we can select this customer and all its information will appear if I thought it was mentioned. Here you have now the possibility to mention the status of the estimate. Since we are just making the estimate, we will allow it to be pending. Once the customer accepts the estimate, we can come and convert the status to be accepted, or either rejected or closed. So for now, we're going to allow it as pending. We allow a date for the estimate, and we have an estimate number. So we can make an estimate per department or per location, which could be with donors restrictions or without donors restriction. So I'll just choose without donors restriction to mention that this estimate is not specific to a donors restriction. So below now, I have the possibility to add the different products or services we are making for the estimates. So I can choose, for example, a product like this. I can choose all the different products that will appear in the estimate. I can keep on adding them for the different lines that are there. If the lines are small, you have the possibility to add a new line. So let me just take it as an assumption that we are making this product for the estimate. So when we click on it, it shows that the quantity on hand is 5. So let's just make an estimate with the 5 products, or let me say 4 products. We're going to have the total amount of our estimate. If there are different products or services you want to input in the estimate, you might want to put it here. At the end of it all, you're going to have the total amount of the estimate. You can put a message to display on the estimate, and a message to display on the statement, then attach any document relating to this particular estimate. So you can then take save and send to your customer. As for me, I'm just going to take save and close. This transaction has one more missing class field. Okay, are you sure you want to save this transaction? So I didn't select the class. I didn't select the class because our company file has to deal with classes, and when you do not select the class, and a message is going to appear to inform you you've not selected the class. So I'm going to select it for a program. Like, I am making this estimate for a particular program. I'm not going to select admin. If it was for admin, I could select it. I could select admin here, or if it was for fundraising, I could equally select fundraising as class. So I've selected the location, save and close. So it will save the estimate, and as you can see, when you come to sales estimates, the list of all the estimates will appear in here. So you could equally come here and take create estimate, or you could still come on the new icon here and take estimate. Now this is creating an estimate without a specification of a project. It is also possible, if at all you have activated projects in QuickBooks Online, it is also possible to create estimates on a project. So we will just get to the projects tab. When you get to the projects tab, you're going to see run your projects with confidence. Here, this interface is showing because we have not created any project before. A project in QuickBooks will permit us to manage all the incomes, all the costs, and the check on the profitability per project. If we're in an NGO, for example, we can have a project with a particular donor, specifying the amount, income in terms of amount he's donating, and specifying all the costs. At the end, we are going to see if there is a profit, but in this case, we will not be talking about a profit. Obviously, we're going to talk about a surplus or a deficit. Alright, if we have not created a project before, we will not actually see the interface to create an estimate in the tab of project. So I'll just create a project, then you're going to see how the interface shows, and how eventually we can create an estimate in the form of a project. So I'm going to say start a project. I'm going to give it a project name for student. So when you create a project, you have to specify the customer for whom you're making the project. So in this case, we can select this particular customer, and more specifically the job on this customer, like the sub customer on this customer Johnson. Now in a previous video, we saw how to create customers, and we equally saw how to create sub customers, and we saw it better to make specific projects on the specific customers information. Like, for example, this is a customer, but under this customer we created a donation. Same as if this particular customer comes up with another project, we will have to create a sub account, a sub third party or a sub customer account on this customer, which is going to distinct this particular customer's project with another customer's project. Like, okay, if this is 2022 donations from this particular customer, if this particular customer or donor ends up giving another donation for another project, we will have to create a separate customer or job under this particular customer or donor, such that when we create a different project, we attach that particular job being for this particular customer. So yeah, I'm going to select these, and I'm going to take, for example, start date to be 1st of June, and the end date might be to be 31st. So now I have the possibility to select whether the project is in progress or completed or not started. So I'll just select on project, which is a status. You can give notes or some specification concerning the projects, and you take save. So you're going to see how the project is going to show. here you can already see we are on this particular project we created, and here you can have an overview of all the income, all the costs, and the profit. It therefore means that from this particular project we can then come and create an estimate to this project. So we'll make an estimate on this project. We are going to outline all the revenues we are going to receive and all the expenses, such that after we can convert it to an invoice in this very same project, which is still the same thing. If you go back to all projects, you're going to see the list of the different projects which are there, and from here you can equally create a new project and make in that project an estimate, then convert it to an invoice. See you in the next video.